Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to show you how you can easily build your own 60% mechanical keyboard and learn or practice soldering while doing it. Now for the majority that doesn't know what a 60% mechanical keyboard is, a quick introduction. Mechanical keyboards feature actual mechanical keys with a lot more accurate tactile feedback as opposed to the more common and cheaper rubber dome keyboards. They're not only popular with people who play video games, but also with people who type a lot. A 60% keyboard is different from a normal sized keyboard in that it doesn't have the F keys or a number pad. So why should you want such a keyboard? Well, the advantages are mostly more space on your desk, the possibility to customize your keyboard to a great detail, and the option to completely program your keyboard to your desires. And they are a lot of fun to build. So let's get started with the unboxing. My parts came in 3 different orders. The first thing you need is the main PCB. This one is a Satan GH60, but there are many alternatives out there. The PCB is the brain of the keyboard and contains all the necessary traces and electrical components to communicate with the computer. Next, you have to decide on the kind of keys you want. There are a few different colors, all with different features, but to make it short, I chose the red ones. The kit also comes with some key stabilizers. Those exist so that the longer keys have the same feel along their entire length. Then there's a front plate that is also available in a variety of colors. I chose silver for my build because it goes well with everything. Most keyboards also feature optional backlighting. You can get those LEDs in most colors, but I went with white because I like it simple. With all the electrical components covered, you need to choose some keycaps. The possibilities for color combinations are basically endless, so I went with a standard light and dark grey look for my first build. And finally, you need to choose a case. There are many great ones available from wood, plastic, acrylic or metal, but since I plan on eventually machining my own one, I just bought the cheapest one I could find. Now it's time for assembly. Before you can start on setting in the keys, you have to find a layout that you like. This will determine where to install the switches on the PCB. I went with the poker layout. Once you're happy with your decision, install the key stabilizers in the corresponding holes. They should just clip into them. Now place all the keys in the faceplate from the front. They have small clips on the lower half to help them stay in place. I would advise you to leave out the ones with multiple positions for now, since they will slide around and make it harder to mate the keys to the PCB. You might need to wiggle the parts a bit, but the keys should find all their holes with relative ease. If they don't, then you might have either your PCB or your front plate the wrong way around. For the next part, you need a soldering iron and some solder wire. If you don't already know how to solder, this is a great project to learn it, since all the joints are easy and you have to try really hard to break something. I like to set my soldering station to around 360 degrees, but if all you got is a soldering iron that plugs directly into the wall, then that will work just as well. Basically, what you want to do is to heat the pin with your iron and then let the pin melt the soldering wire. If the solder doesn't flow around the pin or doesn't melt at all, it's not hot enough. But don't worry if you don't get perfect solder joints on the first try. You got around 200 more times to figure it out. Once you soldered all the keys in place, it's time to add the LEDs. They only work in one orientation, so it's really important to pay attention to it. You can see that one leg is longer than the other one. That is a plus side. The LED holes is also marked with a small plus, so it should, at least in theory, be easy enough to not mess this up, even though I admittedly had to resolder a few. The LEDs fit through the keys and get soldered at the bottom just like the keys. And if you still had problems with soldering, after this you should be a professional, because this takes forever. But it pays off when you connect it to the first time and see all the LEDs light up. This is also a good time to test that all the keys work. It's actually smarter to do that before soldering them all in, but I forgot, so I don't have any footage of it. Anyway, with all the hard work out of the way, it's time for the fun part and the finishing touches. Place the PCB in the case and secure it with the included screws. Afterwards, place the keycaps on top of the switches. You might need to be a bit more careful with the spacebar and the other keys that have a stabilizer, but it should be pretty forward. And that's it, you're done. Now you can either use it as is or reprogram it to fit exactly your needs. I have a second layer with all my media keys like mute, pause play and volume control, and one layer with a numpad and the F keys. Since actually programming the keyboard is enough material for another video, I'm going to leave a link to a pretty good tutorial in the description for now. If you have any more questions or other feedback about this video, please leave them in the comments below. Until the next video, have a great day.